Most people walk through their entire lives completely asleep. They believe every single thought that pops into the busy mind. If the brain tells them that they're angry, they immediately start shouting. If the brain tells them that they're afraid, they immediately run away. They're trapped in a tight box of their own making. Today, I'm going to teach you how to open the lid of that box and step outside. We're going to talk about metacognition. Metacognition is a long word for a very simple physical practice. It simply means thinking about your own thoughts. It's a powerful ability to float above your own mind and watch your own thoughts happen in real time. When you develop this skill, your thoughts no longer control any of your physical actions. You become the silent and steady observer of your own biology. Imagine for a minute, you're driving your car on a busy road. Another driver suddenly cuts in front of you without looking. Your heart rate spikes instantly. Your hands grip the steering wheel. A massive rush of pure anger floods your system. Your brain screams at you to beat the horn and shout an insult. A person without metacognition simply obeys that loud internal voice. They blast the horn and ruin their own morning. They let a stranger dictate their physical state for the day. But instead of reacting blindly, you can do something entirely different. You can take one massive step backward inside your own mind. You will still feel the exact same sudden rush of hot anger hitting your chest. You will still feel your hands grip the steering wheel, just as tightly perhaps. But you'll look at the anger as if it's a physical object sitting on your passenger seat. And you say to yourself that you're experiencing a sudden spike of deep frustration. You see, when you acknowledge that heavy physical feeling without actually becoming the feeling, that tiny moment of quiet observation completely breaks the chain of automatic reaction. You can choose to let the anger pass through you like a dark cloud moving across the sky. You keep your internal peace intact. And that is the true and brutal power of watching your own mind. You stop being a helpless puppet pulled by invisible emotional strings. You become the absolute master of your own physical reactions. Learning this skill requires some brutal honesty and constant practice. You've got to begin by creating a clear physical gap between what happens to you and how you respond. And the easiest way to build that gap is to focus completely on your body, your physical state. You see, your body is always firmly anchored in this, the present moment. So when a strong emotion hits you, you don't ever argue with the actual thought, because arguing with your own negative thoughts just makes them louder. Instead, you shift your focus to how the emotion feels in your muscles and bones. Just notice, is your jaw locked tight? Notice, is your breathing become fast and shallow? The simple act of scanning your body forces your brain to switch gears. It pulls you completely out of the emotional storm and puts you straight into the observation deck. And once you're sitting securely in the observation deck, you have to learn to label what you see. Keep the labels neutral and totally simple. Tell yourself that you're noticing a feeling of anxiety in your stomach. Tell yourself that you're having a passing thought about failing a big project. Don't judge the thought as good or bad, just name it. Clearly and simply. Naming a heavy feeling strips away its power instantly. It turns a massive invisible monster into a very small physical sensation. This then gives you the vital time you need to decide what your next move is. You can then calmly decide to drink a glass of water, change how you feel. You can decide to step outside and breathe fresh air for 5 minutes, change how you feel. Metacognition is not about forcing your mind to be completely empty, because the human brain is a noisy machine and it's always going to produce some loud thoughts. Your only job is to stop believing the dramatic stories that the machine tells you. You've got to treat your thoughts like trains at a very busy station. You don't board every single train that pulls up to the platform. You only step on the train that is going in the direction you want to travel. This supreme level of clarity and mental control, it changes how you interact with other people. When somebody insults you, you don't automatically insult them back. You watch their angry words land and decide if it's even worth your time. When you face a massive failure, you don't ever let it crush you or your identity. You observe the disappointment and you look carefully for a hidden lesson. You build a thick wall of peace around your most vital internal energy. And it will take you many months of repetition to make this your normal resting state, but it works. You'll fail lots of times and you'll get pulled right back into the noise of your own head. It doesn't matter. When that happens, don't judge yourself. Just step back onto the observation deck and start again. Because every time you catch yourself reacting blindly, you win a victory. Every time you take a slow breath before speaking, you rewrite your own biology. You take the steering wheel back from the wild emotions that are inside your body. Just start practicing it today. It's simple. The next time you feel completely overwhelmed by a heavy feeling, just stop moving. Plant your feet completely flat on solid ground. Watch that loud thought echo around inside your head and then let it fade away into nothing. You are always the quiet sky sitting well above the loud passing clouds. You think about that. Take care and stay blessed. This, guys, is the way. Namaste.